Hello, Ustream. Welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 19 pre-show. Yeah. I'm your host. Basically,
we've not started the show yet.
We've not started, no. Obviously, well, as you can probably tell. No, we're doing a pre-show about half an hour, kind of a warm-up, just to give people enough time to get online and stuff. But usually when we start the show, or before we start recording, we'll go over our show notes and things like that, and just kind of neaten things up a little bit, make some edits here and there, maybe drop a few news items or add some news items, things like that, really.
So if you listen carefully, you might not actually need to listen to the full show.
No, we're not actually going to talk about the show this time around. But it's you're tuning into for our console lineup special, hopefully.
Yeah.
Pretty much just going to be talking about. We're going to do what we've been playing, the news segment, but we're going to be the main bulk of the show is going to be talking about what games are coming out over the next 6 months. The next 2 months, 2 to 3 months, are pretty much the big ones.
Yeah.
The heavy hitters. But there's some pretty cool games coming out in the new year, so we're going to be talking about some of them as well. We'll also be sharing our thoughts on what we think are going to be the biggest selling games over Christmas, or holiday season. Let's not specify religion there. Basically, that's more or less what we're going to be talking about. But that show starts at 7, so you've tuned in a little early, so brilliant, good for you. But we're going to be talking about the show itself. Got a little something planned, because we don't want to just be talking bullshit for half an hour. Well,
no.
We do, but we're going to. But we figured we'd sort of let you guys in on sort of how the show got started, really.
Yeah.
It's not the most interesting story in the world, but,
you're going to listen to it.
Yeah, just...
You have no choice. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, well, basically...
First off, can I just, apologise for the state of my voice at the moment?
Go ahead.
I'm recovering from
you do that.
I'm deadly case of man flu. It's been terrible.
Awesome.
I had to cycle to work in the rain with it, and I was really unhappy.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
But I walk like a man and talk like a duck at the moment.
Brilliant.
So
anyway, if we've got any listeners,
shut up.
Okay, well,
just didn't want anybody tuning in and thinking, hold on, who the hell's that sexy husky man?
Hardly. It's very unlikely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the show kind of... Well, I started doing podcasts when I was... I don't know what age, but 2005.
Yeah.
I'll give you a year.
I'm trying to work it out. 19?
Possibly, yes.
Shit.
Right, yeah, so anyway, started doing a podcast when I was 19, apparently, according to James. With a friend of mine called Simon. Got into it was really good, but didn't really...
21,
there you go.
I was
going to say 19 sounded too young. Anyway, right, so did a show, podcast, that was all about music. And it was about, we found unsigned bands and showcased the music. And it was alright. People liked it, people listened to it. But it only lasted for about 13 shows, so we've already outdone that one.
Woo.
But the reason we're talking about this is because it's sort of... This month... It's kind of an anniversary that isn't.
Yeah.
Let's just say. And I'll explain. Basically speaking, 2 years ago, almost to this exact week, me and James here started doing a show, a podcast.
Very sort of similar to
this.
What we've been doing now.
Basically, we did a show, and originally it was called Custom Soundtrack. Custom Soundtrack Podcast, something like that. And it was about video games, strangely enough. And in our first show, I'm going back to 2008 here, so in our first show that was like 50 minutes long, whatever, we recorded it around my house, I think.
Yeah.
We were talking about Burnout Paradise Bikes Pack. And strangely enough, pretty much what we're going to be doing in tonight's show, and that is... We were talking about the games that are coming out, what we're excited for. So I remember talking about things like Gears of War 2, Little Big Planet, Dead Space, things like that.
Was I talking about Fallout 3?
Yes, I do believe you were. Yes, that came out. Yeah, it came out around the same time as Dead Space. Yeah, it came out in October. So it's quite weird, really. I mean, the first episode we did, it was called the Custom Soundtrack Podcast, and I think by episode 2. We'd already decided that it was going to be Games4all, and so for more episodes after that, it was pretty much Games for All, and that's when it was sort of born. So really, the show's kind of 2 years old, but
Sort
it
of.
really isn't.
No.
Because we recorded these 5 episodes, and they never really made it online
No.
at all. In fact, I don't even know. I doubt that I've got the recordings at all. I think they've probably been lost.
So they will never see the light of day.
Well, in some ways that's good.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to go back and hear what our thoughts are on certain things, you know. But yes, we started doing the show almost 2 years ago, and then quite randomly, I think after we did 5 episodes and realised that, you know, I won't go into detail as to why we couldn't get the shows online, but, you know, certain things didn't work out the way we wanted them to, and we just kind of stopped doing it. And it wasn't even like a proper conscious decision that saying, it's not like you turned around and said, oh, you know, we had a discussion saying, no, let's not do it. It just never happened after that.
Just never happened.
Yeah.
You stopped talking about it, and I just never really mentioned it again.
And then...
But to be fair, 2 years ago we had quite a lot going on.
yeah, well, we've still got a lot going on, but I
Yeah.
think we're in a position where we can kind of get away with doing this now.
Yeah, and we have been for 19 weeks,
Yeah, crazy.
which I'm shocked about.
Yeah, it's pretty good going so
Yeah.
far. So, yeah, I think, and because I mean, obviously, like the thing is, me and you, we're both friends. We've known each other for a long time.
Too long.
Well, yeah, all right. And the thing is, most of our conversations revolve around video games and stuff, anyway.
Yeah,
So literally, if we didn't have the mic set up right now, or like most weeks, or whatever, we didn't have the mic set up, we'd pretty much be having the same conversations
yeah.
and discussions about games. So
And at
really,
least in this official...
we just figured
yeah.
we'd just record it.
in this official capacity, we now have an excuse for the other halves, girlfriends and whatever, that we can get together and do this, whereas otherwise it would be, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing the housework? I'm like, oh, I've got to do this.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of like making time for our...
Obsessions.
Yeah.
Hobbies. We call it hobby.
Weekly banter.
Yeah. So even if we weren't doing a podcast, we'd still pretty much be talking shit.
Yeah.
You know. So
I mean, hell, when we do talk and we're not doing the podcast, we still...
yeah,
talk
we
shit.
could pretty much make like do 3 or 4 times the amount of episodes per week if we wanted to. But
That's an idea. Maybe we could get like dictaphones and like, record conversations we have during the week and then put them into the show to save us some work.
nah.
Okay.
We want to keep our listeners if possible. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think outside the box.
Well done, but
Cheeky fucker.
epic fail. So I think really, I mean, I think initially you weren't too up for the idea of it.
Well, like I said, I think 2 years ago we had a fair bit on.
But I think it was more you were nervous about the idea of
Yeah.
doing something. And in some ways, it's kind of a shame that we never got those episodes online and we never carried on with it, because I think if now, had we started 2008 with Games for All, I think we'd be a lot more successful now.
Yeah.
I think a lot more good stuff would have happened. We'd have a lot more listeners and
Yeah.
downloads and stuff. But you know, it's all good. I mean, it is scary how in the last 2 years, how many more hundreds of gaming podcasts are out there now.
Yeah.
It's much harder for us to try and, I would say, compete, but you know,
We don't need to compete.
it's not like that. But you know, 2 years ago it would have been easier for us.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's a shame. But you know, initially, I think when I said to you, yeah, let's do a podcast about gaming, you probably thought, oh, that's kind of recorded, but no, I don't know what to do with this. And I think I do remember having to try and persuade you a little bit on it, but
Yeah.
you eventually said yes. I think I said to you, let's record an episode, see how it goes, and if you don't like it, you don't have to do it, and it won't ever have to go up online. And we did the first episode, and I think you actually really
Yeah.
quite enjoyed doing it. So
Yeah.
from then on, you were kind of like, yeah, let's do this. And yeah, for one episode, it was the custom soundtrack podcast.
Yeah.
We very quickly changed it to Games for All. And then, like I said, nothing much happened after the first 5 episodes were recorded. You know, we kind of just abandoned it, really.
Yeah. Well, we were off making babies.
Not together.
Yeah.
Let's stress that a little bit. Jesus Christ. That's live. That's live. It's gone out, that.
See, this is all the stuff you don't hear. Basically,
Yeah, just put
all
another
the stuff
episode
that we
that would've
cut
been
out, all the stuff that we cut out is me saying stupid shit and Dan
That's
pointing out,
genius.
yeah,
That's
Dan
genius.
pointing out that was stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, so I think, really, at the end of the day, I personally wanted to do this because we could, for a start.
Yeah.
Number one, we could do this. I knew we could do this. I've done podcasts before. It's not, it's not going to be any more difficult than the last one I've done. But, it's, I think we're just kind of, I'm enthusiastic about games. That helps too, obviously, doing a gaming podcast. But I think I just wanted a kind of, I want to say, platform where we could just kind of say what we wanted, express our own opinions.
Yeah.
I think we're quite self-opinionated,
Yeah. Damn right.
And, I think podcasting is a great way of doing that. Anyone can do it pretty much.
I mean, a lot of gaming media now is kind of affected by sponsors and kind of paid off and all that. And we're not in a position to be
well, no.
like that yet.
And I'd like to keep things that way in some respects.
Yeah.
I mean, the money would be great, but I wouldn't want us to sell out at all.
No, I mean, there's a certain freedom to playing the game and having all this hype up to it, then playing it and saying, yeah, actually it's shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it. Yeah. So I think it's nice that we can kind of we've got this kind of, like I say, forum, platform, whatever you want to say, for saying what we want and expressing how we feel about games. And if something is a bit shit, at least we can turn around and say, this is bullshit, and we don't have to worry about anything or anyone, whatever, sort of thing. So, it's good. I mean, I'm happy with how things are turning out now. Obviously, go back 19 weeks, whatever, 18, 19 weeks, probably about 20 weeks, actually. And I said to you, why don't we just start the podcast?
I think I was much more enthusiastic about it.
This time around, you really wanted to do it now.
Yeah.
Not that you didn't before, but I think you wanted to make it, have a really good stab at it and make sure that, we really tried this time.
Yeah.
And I think within a few days I had the website, the domain, had the web space, and we pretty much just took it from there, really,
Yeah.
Remember our first episode, not going back too far, obviously, but, the whole Red Dead Redemption thing.
I love cowboys. How can I forget?
But, I think it's interesting that, we're doing this console lineup show tonight.
Yeah.
And it does reflect 2 years ago when we were sat at my house recording an episode that wasn't even called the same thing, but it was never going to get aired. We obviously didn't know at the time. And for some reason we just kept recording episodes until we got to like 5 and thought, nah, this isn't really working out.
No.
But I think it's great. I think it's good that we've made a real good go at it, And here's the next 19 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm excited because now we've got really juicy stuff to talk about. We've got all these games coming out.
Oh, so many good games.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're going to get started around 7 o'clock time. We're just giving people enough time to kind of get on Ustream or get on our website.
This is all, I will say, this is all what we're going to talk about tonight. Stuff we sort of hold back from talking about because we try and keep each show fairly current.
Yeah.
What's happened over the last week, because we could spend ages and ages and ages talking about the same games and new information and stuff that's not coming out for ages and ages. So this is sort of our chance to really sort of look ahead at the ones that we're looking forward to rather than the ones that are
it's not.
just
I mean, I've got a whole list of games we're going to be talking about. Not all of them are ones we'll be looking forward to.
No.
I mean, I'm just going to point one out to you right here. I mean, don't say what it is, but there you go.
No.
But I mean, for anyone who's actually interested in, like, not so much the behind the scenes of the show, I mean, pretty much a typical week is we keep an eye out and an ear out for whatever is going on. You know what I mean?
We decide who's in charge of news.
Yeah, I mean, it was me for the longest time.
I know.
Until recently.
I contribute more now.
No, definitely. And we just picked what we felt were the biggest news stories of the week, what we felt, people would want to hear about. I mean, I've been a fan of a lot of podcasts, I've downloaded shows week after week after week to hear what people are going to say about games and, to get that. And sometimes it's been from, like, really important, like, journalistic, type gamers who get, like, a game, like, a month before it comes out, and it's nice to hear someone's thoughts on something just so they can reassure people, this game's on the right track, you're not going to be disappointed, that kind of thing. But I listen to everything from that to, just the general pleb sat in a room with a microphone, and he might have his own opinion, and it might.
Why are you looking at me?
You just remind me of the General Pleb.
That's my new nickname, is it? General Pleb.
Indeed.
That's the name of the show.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think podcasting is something that's just come just exploded really.
Yeah.
It's been massive, and here we are doing this. We could have been doing this for 2 years, but things don't always work out the way you plan. So.
No. Again, you're looking at me.
I'm telling. It's not blaming you.
Okay. But on a lighter note, it is kind of good that we're doing this show this week, because there's been one or two big stories news-wise, but nothing huge, has
Yeah,
there?
it's been, the news this week's kind of been a little bit on the slow side, and there's not groundbreaking news,
But
so it's good that we've got something else to fill the gap.
yeah, because pretty much from next week onwards, we're going to be getting some big games coming.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah,
So-
it all pretty much starts. November was the big month for games.
Yeah.
It always has been. But now we've got so much coming out in October. It's unbelievable.
I know, I'm buying a few games.
Yeah, I know, man.
I'm working a lot of overtime to
And
try and afford
the thing
them.
is, it's like February and March and April. They're next year. Even because we'll obviously be talking about games that come out then. But so much stuff. It's quite amazing, really.
Why do you think it is? Why do you think it's like this times of year when we get like the last few months when there's been nothing? I suppose that's over the summer.
At the end of the day, the majority of games come out October, November because of the holiday season, because it's when people want to spend
Weather's
all the
getting
money.
colder, more people are inside.
Exactly,
Don't want to go
and
out.
I think a lot of people try, or a lot of studios and developers and that try and aim to get their games out for this time of year, but maybe that can be too ambitious in some circumstances, and it spills into a prime example. I don't really mean to mention any games in this section, obviously because of the pre-show, but Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
It's a game I'm excited for, and we'll talk about it, but it should be coming out in October.
Yeah.
In my eyes, because 2 years ago the first one came out, and I remember talking about it on the show that never got released.
Yeah.
And it was pretty amazing, really. And it needs to come out around Halloween.
Yeah.
Because it's a horror game. It needs to come out, but it's been delayed to January or whatever. So it's a little bit disappointing.
It's not nearly as scary.
No, that's what I mean. So but I have fond memories of playing Dead Space over Halloween, and then just how that kind of.
I think you have fond memories of me watching you play Dead Space as well.
I have fond memories of you jumping.
Yeah, I am a nervous gamer. I don't like shocks.
You'll see evidence of this next month.
Oh God!
In our next live show.
No.
I got some plans for the Halloween special.
Well, be nice to be let in on them at some point.
We'll sort of. I will let you in on them, but not right now because we're live on Ustream.
Okay.
So we've got another 12 minutes of shit to fill. I'd say 10 because we'll take a tiny little break between the pre-show and the
which you can hear. You can hear us taking the break.
No, I'll put some music up or something.
Oh,
just for a couple of minutes. But thank you very
breaks
much.
are good.
No,
There's a lot of gulping.
There's not. That just sounds odd. Okay, right.
As in, that's when we drink.
Okay. Well, so this is all stuff that will be cut. This is just gold right now.
Yeah, this is why we're not live every week.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yes, it would be bad. So yeah, we'll kick things off soonish, but I want to thank people for listening to us. For tuning in. This pre-show, we probably will actually put this up as part of the podcast feed for this week.
Yeah,
might as well. So there'll be like a mini episode and a proper episode, two separate things. So people have the choice to download this if they really. I don't see why they would, but you know.
Oh, joke's on you.
Yeah, it's free though.
Oh,
I will say that. Yeah, let's not get into that whole free thing. But yeah, that is the beauty of podcasting. Though, to be fair, it's free. It's free content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another reason why we don't go live.
It is nice being able to cut stuff out.
Yeah.
As you'll probably hear when we do our live show at the end of the year, and we do our review of the year and all that kind of crap. We've got lots of stuff planned for the December 31st show. including a whole big outtake reel that we've collected
glorious.
over the last.
There are some beauties. I can think of a couple, but I can think of some of them you might have to bleep out some words.
Yes. There were a few weeks ago that were quite interesting.
Yeah.
A week or two ago. I mean, we've got a few things planned. Most, I think it'll be quite an enjoyable show, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
and we are planning on getting very drunk.
That is the plan. We're also planning on having other people here to
Yes.
to, I don't know, really, just be in the background and make a bit of noise and stuff.
On an audience.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm thinking of, audience. Yeah. That'll be good.
Should be. Provided they're getting drunk as well.
Yeah. But,
I've now just got images of them sort of sitting there being all bored while we're
probably. It
chatting,
probably won't actually be that
drinking.
exciting for them, but hey,
They can be playing games in the background with the sound off and stuff.
Possibly, we'll see how it goes. But no, I think it's cool doing these live shows. I mean, it's just something a little bit different that there are many podcasts that do this kind of thing.
No.
I mean, it's all good. It's all good. Halloween is coming up. End of year's coming up. There's a couple live shows. Don't know if we haven't got anything planned for next year yet, but I'm sure we probably will.
We just want to get the New Year's special out of the way, and then we'll start.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one, because that's going to be a long show.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big download.
Yeah.
For everybody on New Year's Day or whenever it ends up being. No, it won't be New Year's Day. It's put up. I'll be too hungover.
Probably a couple of days after.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But no, I mean, who knows? If we'd carried on doing this 2 years ago, we might be huge names in podcasting by now.
Yeah.
Everybody know who James Craigie was. Just imagine that.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
No. I think we did everyone a favour.
Yeah.
In all fairness. Brilliant. So thank you for listening to our little rant, our pre-show. Put in quotation marks there. Ustream. Goodness.
It's epic.
It is. Well, no, it's not.
Well, it's Ustream. It's broadcasting live to you.
It is
now.
Indeed. So the other thing I was going to mention is how do you feel about playing some scary games?
Terrified.
Come Halloween.
Even more terrified.
For a live show.
Terrified.
Okay. Well, basically, our next live show on the 28th, of October. We're going to do a whole thing where we talk about what games we think are the scariest games. Maybe do a top 10.
Yeah.
That's the plan. But
some of mine that's just going to make you laugh.
Probably.
So I get scared by the weirdest.
I can imagine. But we'll also, as part of the show, I'd like you to kind of I don't know, sit down, maybe play some Dead Space or something, or I don't know, some Condemned, or I don't know, something, and just kind of we'll video it as well.
Oh God.
Because it's nothing about the reaction.
Yeah.
So got to see it to believe it.
All right.
Are you man enough? Are you up for the challenge?
I'm up for it. I'm nowhere near man enough, but I'm up for it.
Good times. It's all a name of fun. It's for the podcast,
Absolutely. I'm willing to.
Why not?
To have a heart attack for the podcast.
Brilliant. I'll send John's ambulance waiting outside.
Seriously, it's even just loud noises, like somebody standing next to me and suddenly shouting for no reason. That will make me jump out of my skin.
Well, I'll put it this way. I've sat and watched movies with you, right? You've come around ours and watched films and stuff. And it is. Sometimes it's just the littlest thing.
And sometimes it'll be films that we've seen already that I know it's coming. And it still makes me jump.
It's not even just, it's just the littlest thing sometimes. And I see you jump out of your skin from the corner of my eye and I just piss myself. It is funny. So
yeah.
It's for my amusement more than anything. But it's for the show. Honestly.
Yeah.
Really
okay.
Is. You don't believe me, I can tell.
No.
God, I feel like we're rambling.
We are.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got about 6 minutes.
We're just kind of letting people, get online to listen.
Okay.
7 o'clock start.
So if you're just tuning in, where have you been?
Yeah,
We've been waiting for
We've
you.
been missing this amazing pre-show. We've talked about loads of stuff already. You missed out on that.
Yeah.
Shame on you. Download it tomorrow. Yeah. But no, I it's a lot of work
Yeah.
doing the podcast. You know, I mean, it's a lot of work when you squeeze it into your life, sort of thing. You know, like you've got all these other things you need to do. You know, you got the family, you got all kinds of other stuff, right? Well, you know, it's still nice to do it. I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, like you say, mentioned editing. You know, editing can take a long time.
But you're so good at it.
Oh, cheers, man. I mean, you know, it's... You can't... I mean, the thing is, a lot of people just think, you just set up a microphone, you record it, then you upload it. Well, no, obviously we've got to insert the music, we've got to cut the show down a little bit, we've got to take out all the, you know, racist stuff that James says and things like that.
I'm not a racist. I
joking.
just don't engage my brain always.
No, you just say stuff without thinking. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like... It's a lot of work. I mean, when we did 2 videos last week. One for Quantum Theory and excuse me, one for that would normally cut
That's
out.
gold.
Yeah, that's good. Aren't you glad you're tuning in? One for Quantum Theory and one for Dead Rising 2. And you know, they were like 5-6 minute videos or whatever, but there's still quite a few hours goes into editing those, and then you've got to export them and upload them, and you know, it's not, you know, like I say, anyone can kind of do it. Yeah, the information's out there on how to do this stuff, but yeah, it takes up more time than you would expect, I think.
Yeah.
And you know, like I say, we put the show notes together and stuff, and you know, that can be a whole morning just rifling through like news stories and picking the best ones. And it's sometimes difficult to kind of, you know, to pick the right ones, you know, and things like that. So.
As me being in charge of the news this week, you'll see. It's very difficult picking the right ones.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well, we're almost done here for the pre-show, so I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're not going to go anywhere, really. We are still here.
We're watching you.
So at 7 o'clock...
Put it away, naughty.
At 7 o'clock GMT, right, it's in about 3.5 minutes. No, 2.5 minutes, sorry. We are going to we're going to kick off with the actual show, episode 19. It is 19, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just double checking that.
It was written down there, I think, on your bit of paper and my bit of paper.
No, I haven't got it written down on my bit of paper.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, hold on. There it is on my bit of paper.
Cool. Anyways, right. So, thank you for tuning in. Please don't go anywhere. We're going to, in a minute or two, we're just going to put a bit of music up. And then we're going to kind of have a 1 minute breather, and then we're just gonna like kick off with the show scarily live on Ustream.
But it's not any more scary than this pre-show's been.
True. So please stay tuned. We're not actually going to go anywhere. Just give it a couple of minutes. We'll be right back. And thank you for tuning in. And fingers crossed. Wish us luck with the console lineup special, which we're about to host. Okay, hello, Ustream and people who downloaded. Welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 19. I'm your host, Dan Young. With me, as always, my good friend, James Craigie.
General pleb.
Yeah, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for not going anywhere. I assume you haven't left us. We had our little pre-show. We just had a half-hour natter, which has been somewhat educational. No, it hasn't been. It's total bullshit.
Well, it's not educational to us because we knew it already.
No, true. Oh, yeah, exactly. But thank you for tuning in. We're doing the show live. It's our console lineup special. For anyone who's just tuned in, thank you, first of all. Secondly, it's going to be a big discussion about all the games that are coming out in the next 6 months. It's basically how we're going to, describe the show today.
So we're going to start off as we
normally do with what we've been playing. We'll do a bit of a news section, and then we'll kind of kick in with this onslaught of gaming goodness.
Alrighty then.
Go on then. Let's. What have you been playing?
I've been playing. Well, I recently.
Go on.
I recently obtained.
It's live.
Dead Rising 2. I haven't actually played it yet, but I did get through Case Zero.
Oh yeah.
And I have now finished that.
Brilliant.
I was going to try and get the full 200-point gamer score.
Yeah.
But the last 2 people that you have to rescue.
Yeah.
are thick as shit.
Ah,
And they will not leave their shop.
thick as fuck.
So I'll have to go back and do that. And I didn't spend enough money. But I'll probably be going back to that. But I think I probably this weekend will be starting Dead Rising 2.
Well, yeah. Well, this leads me nice on to what I've been playing, which is Dead Rising 2.
Awesome.
I've been playing Dead Rising 2. It's good. It's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. Vast improvements over the original. We put a video up. We kind of talked about our first impressions of it. We only played a few hours, but played a bit more now. Really good. Really enjoying it. Finding it a fair bit easier than the first game, which was my only major gripe with the first game. Other than that, I loved it.
Do you find you have enough time to do everything?
Yeah, I mean it is tight in places, but it's
Doable.
Generally they give you a fair bit of time. So I'm not having any problems with that so far. Really enjoying it. I'm hopefully going to play a bit more, and be great if I can kind of get through it and get a fanfare at some point for it. But I mean it is really good. So anyone who hasn't picked that up yet, fucking go get it because it's the shit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've also been continuing my quest with Mass Effect.
Oh yeah.
Finished the first one. Don't give me a fanfare for that because I've completed it like 12 times now. I've now moved on to the second one. This is my second playthrough of Mass Effect 2. Now that I've got a whole lot of DLC for it.
All right. Okay.
So not noticed a huge difference. But there is like a lot more missions and stuff open at the beginning and characters and stuff. And it kind of shocks me. It shocked me the first time I played it, and it shocked me again after playing Mass Effect 1, and I played it just before the second one came out, and then sticking the second one in and seeing all the improvements over things like sort of the graphics, the textures, the frame rate, just the general sort of style of it. It's still sort of jaw-dropping, vastly superior to the first one. Although I do love the first game, the second one, in my opinion, just looks nicer, feels nicer.
Well, I was going to we are going to be mentioning a little bit of Mass Effect 2 later, but
also, been playing a couple of demos.
Yeah.
First one I tried out was Arcania Gothic 4. Now, you see,
that's okay. And then
heard of it? No. Well, the Gothic series has sort of a following on PC and all that, and they're kind of like high fantasy adventure game type things. And I played the demo, and I have to say, it's the sort of game I would have loved about 5 years ago.
All right.
It's very reminiscent of like Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Right, okay.
And it's kind of feels like it should have come out at roughly the same time. I mean, you can see like the lighting effects and everything, what they've tried to do, but they've not quite managed it. The textures are a bit blurry. There's a lot of pop-up. It's not a particularly pretty game. I mean, it's not terrible. It doesn't control bad or anything, but it just feels like proper old school that should have come out a long time ago. It doesn't feel like a new, like a new current game.
Brilliant.
And I probably would play it, but I've got other things to play.
I mean, there's a few games like that coming out, but I'm not really going to talk about them.
No, yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah. The other thing I've been playing is the demo of Enslaved: Odyssey to the West.
Yes.
It's come out. That kind of shocked me because I didn't even know the demo was coming. But I sort of saw that and thought, oh, I'll have that. Made by Ninja Theory, who did Heavenly Sword, the game that if you made a cup of tea before you started playing it, you could finish it and the cup of tea would still be warm.
Yeah.
So
it's like 4 hours long or something, 4 to 5 hours
yeah,
long.
You can easily sit down and complete it in one sitting.
I don't know the demo, and it was like half the game.
Yeah. But Enslaved, it's a different game. Very sort of similar in some respects. Like some of the character design, obviously, is quite similar. Facial animations and talking and everything, you can really sort of see the humanity in these computer-generated sprites. And like the mocap and everything. And, it's quite pretty. I found it a bit sort of twitchy on the controls, but you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually intrigued because it's based on, you remember Monkey, or American listeners, Monkey Magic. Sort of the same sort of story on that, but it's kind of updated. I will be picking this up. It was quite a lot of fun to play, quite humorous in places, paced out fairly well. Had a few like big action moments. It just sort of seemed.
It's pretty good for a demo. I mean, it's definitely grabbing people's attention. Putting its best foot forward. It is literally it's the opening moments of the game. I just hope that the game overall keeps that pace.
And goes on for longer.
Yeah.
I want cold tea.
Yeah, you want cold tea at the end of this game.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, so I will. I have set aside some money and I will be picking this up and I'll probably be talking more about it on the show.
Oh, that's good. Is that everything you've been?
That's pretty much everything.
The only other thing I've been playing, and it's something that we forgot to mention last week because it came out last week and we actually overlooked it completely, is the new Guitar Hero game.
Oh yeah, I watched you play a little bit of this.
I mentioned when the demo came out, I played it, and it's Guitar Hero. You know, it's the kind of same as it's always been, really, in some respects. This time now, they've kind of added this quest mode thing, which is kind of stupid. Before Guitar Hero, you'd have like the kind of campaignish mode. You play through all the songs. It tells a very, very sort of thin, bare bones story of a band's rise to fame kind of thing. This one takes the individual characters from the game and kind of gives them their own kind of little story, and it's kind of pointless, really, because at the end of the day, all you want to do is play some freaking songs and unlock more, you know. But gotta say, it's an alright looking game. I mean, it looks the same as it's done for a while now. It's more of the same, but
there's some pretty cool songs,
and there's some amazing songs on there. Though that's the thing. That's the thing that keeps people coming back to Guitar Hero is the track list. And there's some fucking amazing songs on this game.
I mean, I had the luxury of you played Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And you were sort of focused so hard on that, especially doing the piano bits on the guitar.
On the guitar, which is very strange. I hate when I do that.
But I could actually watch like everything in the background going on, and some of the animations and stuff is genius.
Yeah,
really is good.
Yeah, I'll admit. I mean, if you're into Guitar Hero, if you're into that kind of stuff, and you've already got the plastic shit laying around, you know, the Fisher Price toys, you know, then why not pick it up? You know, I mean, I'm a fan of Guitar Hero. I think I've liked the series for a while now, but like,
it's an established thing.
It's not doing anything really different, but it's still fun to pick up every once in a while. I mean, for anyone who doesn't really play it that often, maybe it's like something they should pick up when it's a bit cheaper, just like the Solace disc, you know. But
well, say someone's not played Guitar Hero since like the first or the second one. Do you reckon this should be the one that
graphically there's a big difference between then and now, obviously, but. I mean, the first the first few, it's really bad. First few Guitar Hero games were made by Harmonix, who now make Rock Band. It's now Neversoft have taken over since Guitar Hero 3, which in my opinion is one of the best Guitar Hero games. So if someone's not played it since like the first one on the days of like the PS2, I mean, it's not going to be that much different. I mean, the guitar itself is a little different, you know, they've added stuff and little bits and pieces in there, but generally it's the same game.
I feel slightly hard done by because, you know, I love some of like the music and the track lists you get with these games, but when it comes to rhythm games, I have no rhythm.
Right.
I'm not very good at them.
I can see how that could be a problem.
Yeah, and I'm sort of musically dyslexic. Yeah.
Careful there.
Yeah. Really had to bite my lip there, but
I was going to go with rhythmically retarded. But oh, okay. Dude. Right, so anyway...
Dude. That's exactly what I was trying not to say.
I know. Oh, that's good. But the thing is, I mean, it's been a bit different for me because I've been playing this on Rock Band hardware.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I really have enough space in my house for one fucking set of plastic instruments, so I don't want to keep buying a new set every time a new game comes out. But so I stuck with the Rock Band thing, as I was really into that. So I've been playing it on like the old first generation like Rock Band guitar, and it isn't the easiest thing to be playing, really. No. I've only really tried guitar. I haven't done any singing or played the drums or anything on this game, but so far, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it is just Guitar Hero, really, and you know, there's one every year, so more or less. So it's like it's just another.
There's one every year, yeah,
more or less, yeah. So, but it's all good. You know? If you like Guitar Hero, go get it. I mean, it's some fucking brilliant songs on it. So that's pretty much all I've been playing.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much wraps that up, I think.
Well, it does for the first section of the show.
So, yeah, for those of you who have downloaded, we're going to take a little break. For those of you who are listening live, you can hear us have a drink.
Brilliant. So
And
what we
then-
always wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Christmas has come early.
And we'll be back to talk about the small snippets of news that have happened this week.
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're now going to be talking about some of the latest new news. Here's James with the news.
Hey, everybody.
It's
that
live.
bit, yeah.
You can't take
Yeah.
that back.
No.
That's out there.
That is a bit that would have been cut out.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a prime example of the shit we cut out. Okay, go on. News.
Thank you, Daniel.
No worries.
Well, not a big news week
No.
this week, let's be honest. I've kind of had to scrape the barrel. And mostly it's stuff that I'm interested in. There's a few bits there. One thing that just sort of came up last minute yesterday was more details on 3DS games.
Yeah. I remember reading this.
Some pretty cool stuff. I mean, it's pretty impressive what they've got running on it. Like, it's got, like, if you look on the internet now, I'm sure you'll find it, like, screens and stuff of, like, Zelda and Metal Gear and everything, and it looks pretty cool. And it's got, like, the Resident Evil, it's not 5, is it? It's called Mercenaries.
Yeah.
But basically it's similar sort of engine to 5, and doesn't look that hell of a lot different,
Cool.
considering it's running on a portable screen. So
Yeah.
I have to say I'm really, really excited about the 3DS.
Well, they've announced that I think it's in Japan. It's coming out in February next year, February next year, and then March, April for like US, Europe.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
That's
I think
around my
it's-
birthday.
I think it's been sort of roughly priced at like $250. Well, obviously that's going to be like about 200 quid here,
Yeah.
possibly more. So
Bit much for a
Right.
birthday present.
pricey, but you know,
I've got plenty of time to save up.
People will buy it. So
Yeah.
you know, and I think when we did the E3 shows and we announced that we spoke about the 3DS being announced. We said that it would be ideal for this to come out at holiday season. You know,
Yeah.
everyone will trade in their old DS and they go get this. You know, this is or that people will be buying this for people. The 3DS, perfect time for Nintendo to release it. But I guess it's
Do you think the gaming
the hardware's just been
Cool.
finalised. So
Yeah. Do you think the gaming developers and publishers and everything are trying to tell us that, like, March, April is the new Christmas? Or
it's
holiday season?
possible. I mean, it could also be down to something like that. I mean, maybe Nintendo did want to bring this out earlier, but if there's not enough launch titles for it, then
Yeah.
you know they need to have enough to buy it. You know, enough for people to buy
Yeah.
at launch to make it worthwhile. But
But I'm
we'll
going to
see.
be trying my hardest to pick this up, and we'll be talking a lot about it on the
Pretty
show.
awesome, yeah.
Other news. Remember Project Milo?
Yeah.
How much I love that game. Or tech demo, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well,
Regular listeners will know that I have issues with this,
yeah.
but it's rumoured that it has now been not so much canned, but kind of, oh no, we were never intending to release it anyway.
Well, I think initially that's the case. That I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, Project Milo is this big, is a tech demo. E3 2009, I think it was.
You can talk to an 8-year-old boy.
Yeah, it's like it uses the Kinect software, and it's just like you can have a conversation with this character on your Xbox and blah 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 blah. And it's been made by Lionhead, and Peter Molyneux came out and demoed it and stuff, or spoke about it. I forget
Oh,
now.
Peter Molyneux. He gets a lot of bad rap, but I think he's genius.
It's quite an ambitious thing, and it doesn't surprise me that it's him behind it. But
No.
Initially, I think this wasn't intended to be something that was released, and I think because it got such a reaction, because this year's E3, a lot of people said, "Where's Project Milo? Where's the freaky 8-year-old kid that I can talk to and groom?" You know, like it's where's that at? That's the game everyone wants to play, right? And
Certain type of gentleman
we'll
asking those sort of
we'll
questions.
cut that out. Shit's lying. Right. No, like, and because there's this whole where's Milo thing, I think they probably rethought it and thought, well, maybe we could do something with this. You know, a lot of hard work's obviously gone into it, and it's a pretty impressive tech demo. So I think that, you know, and this is months back, obviously, because we're talking E3 this year, but I think they kind of went, hey, maybe we could bring this out to them. I mean, because a statement was made saying, yeah, it's going to come out, you could be able to buy this, whatever it is.
And officially, nothing has been said to the contrary, but there are sources
that
have been cited on the internet close to Lionhead.
In some respects, it wouldn't surprise me, though, that it's been cancelled, because it's got a slightly weird reputation behind it already, like you say, the horror. It's a little bit creepy. But the thing is, it's like, here's the thing, right? I mean, Kinect comes out, let's say, it comes out in November, so like over a month away, but like, Kinectimals comes out free.
Yeah.
Right? You can play in a cute little animal. Would you rather do that or talk to some 8-year-old kid and get him to squash snails?
That sounds like a pretty good site evaluation question.
Just saying, right? Because, I mean, that's not going to appeal to everybody.
No.
I don't think.
No.
And I think they probably struggle to find the market for that game, perhaps. And perhaps it would be slightly creepy guys who want to get it and, you know.
But I think
that's probably what it's down to.
I think for everybody who's like expecting a game out of it, they should just see it for as it was. It was a tech demo. It was a way to see where the technology is going, the sort of things they're capable of. It would be cool
for them to do something with it, but I don't know that it's
like maybe using that technology. I can imagine, like, say, role-playing games, walking around actually interacting with the characters.
I think that's primarily what, because obviously coming straight from Lionhead, I think that's primarily what they were trying to get. But I mean, as for Milo himself,
freaky little kid.
Anyways, what else you got?
Other news is there was this whole thing about Sony trying to combat against illegal copied controllers.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, like false, fake PlayStation controllers. And they released like a firmware update, which is supposed to stop them from working.
God bless the firmware update. It fixes everything.
Yeah. Problem is, a lot of people are wondering, well, hang on, what about my other third-party controllers? Now, sort of the currently released Mad Catz controllers, they all work fine, but some of the older models, I think it's like 3 of their older models have now stopped working because of this.
Huh.
Like the big clampdown on unofficial controllers.
It is really only does affect Mad Catz.
Yeah, I mean, there are sort of other companies that make controllers and they say, oh, no, it's not affected, but, you know, there are people out there who can't afford official controllers or whatever.
They are quite expensive, to be fair.
Yeah.
It costs as much as a game, you know?
Yeah, I think controllers for all systems are stupidly overpriced.
Yeah.
But, so they bought this ages and ages and ages ago just so that they could play like 2-player games with their friends or have like an extra controller there. And now that has been taken away from them. They now have to go out and spend more money on something else.
It's kind of shit. I think Sony could at least do something about this.
Yeah.
But, you know, they probably won't.
No.
Sadly enough.
But, you know, on the flip side, sort of the illegal controllers now don't work. So they've kind of got what they wanted. So in that way, it's a sort of a success.
A big problem, personally. No. But I guess
But they didn't like it.
Well, no, it's Sony.
What Sony doesn't like, Sony gets rid of.
Indeed. I feel sorry for the people that live downstairs.
That's all right.
What else? What else have you got? I mean, this is a type of these sorts of stories are really kind of like you said, scraping the barrel.
Yeah,
that's what you mean now.
Now I picked this story out because it's like a major title that was really hyped up and has let quite a few people down.
Ah, right, yeah.
I quite liked Metroid Other M.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a lot of what people don't like about it is the things that I don't like about it. But you know, I like the game enough to kind of look past that. There is one area of the game, which apparently, if you like go over a certain place and then double back, it kind of locks you out, and it's game breaking. It stops. Now, for like quite a major game to have a game breaking bug like that, I think is unusual nowadays. Yeah, I mean it does happen, but it's not anything that's not serious. Nintendo's response to it, so what made me laugh is this is just for Japan, by the way. They said, "Oh, put your save game on an SD card or." Send us your Wii console if it's on the internal memory, and we'll sort it out for you. It's like, can't you just like do an update or something? Or
Yeah, you would have thought so. I mean, but then how many people's Wii's are actually connected, actually online?
yeah,
So, I mean, I don't know. It does seem a very strange
it's very strange.
thing
It's
to
sort of
ask people to do, but, you know.
yeah, but it's just sort of caught my attention because it's just weird.
Mm.
I mean,
Excuse me.
back in the day, if a game had bugs, you were kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
Now we're living in sort of a generation where bugs are becoming less of an issue, and you know, granted, a lot of games now are buggy and have things, but they generally get fixed
They're
or patched or
yeah.
anything.
So it is quite weird though when you buy a game and day when you put it in and it comes with a patch straight away. You're like, okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
This is what to expect.
Yeah. But in some ways, I find that quite reassuring.
It is and it isn't. I
But
don't know.
but yeah, I mean, it does go to show. I mean, ages and ages ago, I can remember games sort of being delayed for long times. Sometimes just so they could like get rid of all the bugs and ship it out complete because they had no way of patching it.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of gone. A lot of games I've noticed sort of game delays have become less frequent and less thing, but we do get more bugs in games, and it just seems to be accepted the norm. And as kind of like our generation of gamers didn't have that, it's kind of
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find it a bit weird, but you know, it's all good. Anyway, next story. You know, I have an obsession with famous actors voicing video games.
Yeah, no, I'd noticed. Yeah.
Especially typically British ones.
Right.
Like I said, it was what's his face?
What?
Gary Oldman. That's
Yeah.
one. He was voicing for Black Ops.
Black
yeah.
Ops, yeah.
Just released, or Lionhead Studios just released a new video, like showing some of the cast at work. Big names. So Ben Kingsley. He's in Fable 3.
He's just Ben Kingsley in this room.
Right, okay. But it's Gandhi, man.
Yes.
No, he will. He does quite a lot of stuff, and it's good sort of
shit.
Yeah, it's good sort of. You hear the interviews, and it all sounds very plausible. Then you sort of think of some of the other films that he's done, and it's like, but he has made some good films, so I'll give him.
No, it is a big name to be in a game because, like I say, it's. We mentioned this earlier, like you say, when you a few episodes ago, when we talked about the Black Ops thing, where Ed Harris, I think, and Gary Oldman, and now actors take video games a lot more seriously as an actual art form, and they're more willing to lend their name and their voice to something like, you know, and from Fable 3, I mean, there's going to be tons and tons and hours of voice acting.
Good thing I like about Fable 3 is it's very sort of typically British.
Yeah.
So the cast is all typically British. I mean, you've got Stephen Fry and Zoe Wanamaker who have come back from Fable 2. You've got John Cleese in there playing the butler, which is brilliant. You've got Jonathan Ross in there.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know what Jonathan Ross is, though.
Wussy. Look him up. Genius.
Yeah, twitter.com/Wussy.
Wussy.
I think is,
yeah.
He's
Also,
a chat show I used to do.
Also, in the game, Bernard Hill, fairly famous British actor, was in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So these are sort of the names that add credibility to a game, I think. And I think my favourite, big star, Star Trek, and various other famous Hollywood films, Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
I think that shocks you when I said that.
Yeah, you did mention this earlier, actually. Pretty cool.
I'd kind of put Fable 3 aside as a game that I will pick up at some point, but probably not straight away. Yeah. I think now that I've seen it, and obviously there's like more gameplay on show from this video and everything, I'm thinking, I'm going to pick it up on release.
Yeah.
I'm going to work harder and get more money to do that. Okay. But that's pretty much it. I love actors in games. I will, anytime anything interesting happens, I will endeavour to get it into the news somehow.
Brilliant.
Last bit of news.
Okay.
Remember me talking about Monkey Island 2?
Yes.
Did the remakes fairly recently.
Yeah, that was a month or two back,
Yeah, two of the big names in that, Tim Schafer and Ron Gilbert, they kind of made the games what they were.
Yeah.
First two. Very funny, very great team working together. Not really worked together since then.
Yeah.
Though they have stayed friends. Well, Tim Schafer now obviously is in charge of Double Fine.
Mm-hmm.
He recently said that instead of just working on one game at a time, they're going to have like 3 or 4 projects running. You know, like a proper development
Jesus.
studio. And what's happened there is Ron Gilbert, ever the friend of him, had sort of, not having an office of his own, had been sharing some of the office space, Tim Schafer's office at Double Fine, and Tim said basically, you're here so often, why don't you just work for us? So Ron Gilbert and Tim Schafer working again on one of their games will be their game. I'm kind of excited and hopeful about this because I'm hoping it's going to be not another Monkey Island but another sort of iconic, funny game about that. But, for fans of the Monkey Island series and all this, I think it's something to sort of keep an eye out. I mean, Double Fine, they've done some pretty weird and wonderful games.
Excellent.
Like Brutal Legend, although it was kind of hit and miss in some ways, it had a certain style and certain humour to it that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And Ron Gilbert, he's a funny bloke. So, watch this space.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for the news. Should we get on with the console lineup business?
Well, we'll take it on a quick break.
Okay.
So, when we come back, we will be talking about the main stuff. The main reason the show is
now.
Yeah, is the console lineup, and we'll see in a few
For those of you who are
seconds.
downloading, don't get freaked out. I know there's a break here, and we're not going into topic or new releases or anything.
No,
it's fine.
Yeah,
it was meant to be like this.
Okay.
Dumbasses.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll see in a sec.
I don't know what that was all about.
Okay, hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. Console lineup special this year for 2010. We're going to be talking about games. Lots and lots of games. Games that are coming out in the next 6 months.
On the big three.
Majority of these are coming out in the next 2 months. So we're focusing on some of these games. We're going to mention these games. We're going to mention the platforms they're out on.
Yeah, a couple of exclusives. A lot of them multi-platform because that's kind of where games are going nowadays.
Yeah, there's not much in the way of exclusives anymore. But we'll point out the exclusives. We'll talk a little bit about each game. Obviously, some we'll talk a little bit more in depth about because we may be excited for them. We'll make some predictions maybe if we feel up for it. So, but before we do that, I want to thank people for downloading. And I want to thank people who are listening on Ustream. Thank you very much, guys.
You're the public's bitch, aren't you?
No. Okay, can't help it. So, straight at the top here, right? We're going to start with October.
Okay.
It's pretty much now, right? More or less. And a game that you pretty much just mentioned earlier, Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. That's coming out PS3 and 360.
I'm getting it.
You're getting it. I'm impressed with the demo. I may just wait to see a little bit more of the game before I decide on whether or not to get this or not. But it's one of those games that's kind of it was always a little bit on my radar, but now it's more so because of this demo.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
I think it will do quite well. I don't think it's not one of these games that everyone's going to go out and buy because not everyone's going to know what it is.
No.
But thanks to the demo, I think it's boosting it. It's going to be
I think it has like a couple of different audiences. One who likes the, pardon me,
live show, live belching.
I can do a proper one if you want.
No, that's all right. Please don't.
Okay. It'll appeal to like.
This is what you get for free.
Like fans of Heavenly Sword who wanted more, who felt that the game was too short, but obviously,
I can see it appealing to them.
But it's got the same sort of action moments in it. Fans of like Monkey and Journey to the West, like the novel or TV series that this is sort of based around, will like it, and just general fans of
What?
Post-apocalyptic
Pocahontas?
Yeah,
Pokemon? What?
fans of Pocahontas will like this. I don't know why.
Okay,
they just will.
Okay.
No, fans of shut up.
Live.
Fans, yeah. Fans of post-apocalyptic action games. Because I have to say, what I think makes this different is there are quite a few post-end-of-the-world games out there.
Yeah.
And they're mostly brown. That's a safe assumption.
Yeah, they're mostly brown.
They're mostly brown.
Okay.
This?
Let's go with that. What's this statement? Fucking hell. Okay, so this game's more green.
Yeah, this one has kind of. You think sort of post-apocalypse, you sort of think sort of nuclear wasteland, everything. This sort of seems to have some colour to it.
Yeah,
which
it does. It looks
is
good.
interesting. I think makes it sort of stand out and everything.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's. I mean, obviously that's the first game we've talked about. 5 minutes worth on that. But
yeah, I will. We will be talking more about it when we get it. So let's speed this up.
Castlevania, Lords of Shadows.
I do want this.
This is out on PS3 and 360.
I do want this, but I'm probably not going to pick it up straight away.
I'm massive into the whole Castlevania thing.
See, I love Castlevania. I love the idea of it, and I love, like, this has got some names in it again, sort of voice cast famous people, none of which I can remember at the moment.
Right,
that's
helpful.
But no, it's got some big names in it. I probably will pick it up at some point, but not straight away.
Okay.
I imagine there will be a lot of people though who will pick it up, and I've been waiting for this because it's not really done that well in 3D in the past, and I think this is their chance to.
Right. Well, it's a game that's not new, but it's being re-released for a specific reason. Heavy Rain Move Edition.
Oh yes.
So obviously PS3 exclusive game.
Yeah.
Re-released to take full advantage of the Move controllers.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I played the demo of the original Heavy Rain, and the controls were a little bit weird, a little bit hard to get into. I did say, when I was thinking of getting it, there were rumours that, they're going to re-release it so it's Move compatible. I thought, well, I'll just wait for that. I am interested in the Move. I probably will pick it up at some point, and when I do, this will probably be the game I'll pick up with it.
Yeah. I think most people may feel the same way about that.
You know, I imagine if you've got the game and played it through, there's not much point in getting it. But
probably not, no.
But, you know, you could open it up and...
I think this will do okay, but the fact that you've got to have some fairly expensive controllers to play it with, maybe it's downfall.
It'll sort of be... If you've got the Move and you're waiting for games for it, it'll be the sort of the game that'll pick up people who went out and bought the hardware, and this will be like one of the games to pick up because it's like a main...
Yeah, it's a big title.
It was a AAA title when it was released, and this will be that utilising.
Yeah,
so
that's all good. Okay, well, still with October, we're going to be literally a couple of weeks' time. Medal of Honor, the new Medal of Honor comes out. There's been a lot of news about Medal of Honor.
Yeah,
some good, some bad, and all that. That's coming out on 360, PS3, and PC. So that's good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm picking up. I'm looking forward to it. We played the beta. We've expressed how we felt about that. Apparently fixed a hell of a lot of stuff from feedback from the beta. So that's all good.
I have to say, with my new love of like wartime sort of first-person shooters and everything, I am interested in it. But I think I'm kind of leaning more towards Black Ops, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
It is interesting that they're releasing this October and not November. They're giving us a whole month's worth of a whole 4 weeks before Black Ops comes out. They're going to be bringing out Medal of Honor. It's kind of probably a smart thing on EA's behalf because Black Ops is probably going to outsell. I reckon Black Ops will outsell Medal of Honor, but Medal of Honor I reckon will do quite well. Yeah,
I think. There are a lot of people out there with more money than sense. Yeah. Not saying that it'll be nonsensical to buy this game.
I think there'll be people who buy both, and I'm probably going to be one of those people.
Yeah. But I think there'll be.
Black Ops will sell a lot more.
Yeah. I think they'll get Medal of Honor to kind of like fill the void until Black Ops.
Those 4 weeks, exactly. I think that's probably what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
So another title for the Wii. Not so excited for this one because I don't really care.
Oh, I am.
What, Just Dance 2?
Yeah.
Alright then.
Day one purchase. Getting that bad boy shit.
Just Dance 2 comes out in October. That's obviously Wii exclusive. First one actually did really quite well though.
I know. But like I said before, I have no rhythm, and that includes dancing.
Indeed. Here's a game you may have heard of, James, called Fallout New Vegas. It comes out on the 360, PS3 and PC.
I'm getting it. I'm going to do a video on it.
Yeah.
We need not talk about this.
Well, we kind of do, but we're not going to talk too long about it. I mean, obviously you're excited for it. I'm excited for it. I really still want to play through Fallout 3, but with all these games coming out, I don't know how easy that's going to be to do. But it comes out at the end of October. I think, just based off of how well Fallout 3 did, this is going to be stupid good.
Yeah.
As far as sales go, I think this is going to be in the top 5 selling games of the holiday season. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
The next game I've got on my list is Vanquish, which I don't think will do as well. I mean, we played the demo for this, and I wasn't that impressed.
I think I like the demo more than you, but I would say it was nothing new.
No.
It's all been done before. I've all seen it before.
It felt like there was 2 or 3 different games kind of thrown together, and this is it's all right. I mean, it looks nice, and
it sort of suffered a bit with what Quantum Theory did, is the fact that it was nothing new.
Yeah,
we'd seen it before.
Yeah, and that's out on 360 and PS3. I think it'll be one of the. I think it'll suffer. I don't think it would do that well. I don't think it'll sell as well as they'd like it to. So, bit of a shame. It's from Sega and Platinum Games, I do believe.
Yeah, from the creator of the Resident Evil games. Yeah,
so even with that, the names and that behind it, I still don't see it doing that well, because there's so many more bigger titles coming out.
I don't think it'll do badly. I think maybe might not sort of hit like super high sales to begin with, but I think people will get around to picking it up eventually.
When it's cheap.
Or renting it, or whatever. But
okay, well, EA Sports got the.
See, as soon as you say EA Sports, my mind just goes blank, and I start thinking of oceans and stuff. I just can't concentrate after that, so I'll let you carry on.
Well, EA Sports have obviously got a lot of different sporting franchises, and they have a lot of different games coming out. Not say different each year, but the same games rehashed. But they're bringing out something new this year.
Yeah.
EA Sports MMA, mixed martial arts.
Awesome.
It's pretty much UFC, really, if I'm honest, but it's
better.
Sort of better. Yeah.
Better.
Whether
the game will be better or not.
Well, we'll see. To be fair, games like Fight Night and stuff like that look really good.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it looks as nice. I haven't really seen.
Well, they have just released a demo of it.
I've not actually played that demo, but I was kind of meaning to play it before. Talking about this game. But
well, we'll download it and we'll talk about it next week.
It's out on PS3 and 360.
Obviously.
Two main next-gen consoles, or current-gen consoles. I think it's to do okay. I don't quite know if the holiday season's the time for this to be released, or what, really. But, I mean, it will do alright. EA stuff does okay. EA Sports titles always do.
They wouldn't
good.
Keep making them if they didn't.
Exactly. And I imagine next year we'll have.
I think MMA has quite a big following.
And we'll have another one of these mixed martial arts games next year.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you can almost guarantee it.
Maybe 2.
Possibly. DJ Hero 2 is out this October on PS3, 360 and Wii. And
I think everybody who pretty much got the first one will get this, just to kind of what you said.
To validate the
turntable controller.
Yeah. I mean, I bought the first game last year, and it was an expensive game. It didn't really live up to my expectations. It was alright. I mean, the music in the game is pretty fucking amazing. I played a demo for this, and it was alright. I mean, all they've done is they've added support for another turntable at the same time, and a microphone. So they're kind of doing this whole hero game thing. Is now you've got Guitar Hero, Band Hero, DJ Hero, fucking Kazoo Hero, whatever.
Kazoo Hero. That would be awesome.
I
could do that.
But they'd add vocals to it. They'd add a mic to Kazoo Hero, and eventually a drum or something. I don't know. You know what I mean, though? So it's kind of. They're kind of trying to do something with it. I don't think they really know whether this is going to work or not. I don't know how this is going to sell. I'm a bit unsure, because obviously with DJ Hero coming out last year and how expensive it was and stuff, I know there's got a lot of different SKUs coming out for this game. As you can buy it with 2 turntables and a microphone, and You can just buy it on its own, or buy it with a microphone, or buy it with blah, blah. So many different, different SKUs for this. I don't know what's going to sell. It's so confusing. And with the reputation it had last year, I think people probably more likely want to stay clear of it.
Yeah.
Shame, really. And I think the people who will buy it are the people who bought it last year, who want to just buy the game. They've already got the hardware. They just want something different to play. Not something different, but some new songs to play with it. So that's probably where it's going to make its money, not for the hardware.
No.
Solus discs, I think, personally. A game that you've been talking about already today.
Yeah. This, if we're on to the week I think we're on, it's going to be like my main reason why I hate the holiday season.
Right.
Because there are so many games and they all come out at the same time.
Well, okay. This is the very end of October we're talking about here. Fable 3 comes out for the 360 and PC.
Yep. So sort of a Microsoft exclusive. Obviously, being Lionhead, which are owned by Microsoft Game Studios.
You really expect this.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
Excited.
Cool.
I love the second one.
Do you reckon it'll sell well? How do you reckon
I reckon it will. A lot of people bitch and moan about all the promises made about the Fable games and not living up to it and them being boring, but they still buy them.
Yeah.
One thing Peter Molyneux is good at is creating hype. So there are a lot of people waiting for this and wanting to see whether it'll be much better, because it was kind of a surprise because it was announced quite soon after Fable 2 was released. And I have to say, what I've seen of it, it definitely seems like an improvement over Fable 2. And I quite liked Fable 2. In fact, I'm going to have to play through Fable 2 again before I play this.
Bloody hell, mate.
So when I do buy this, I might not actually be able to play it for like a week or so because I'm going through the second one again.
Excellent.
But no, I am looking forward to it and I will be picking it up.
So you reckon it'll do okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Still in October. It's just, this month is getting crazy. Star Wars Force Unleashed 2 on PS3, 360 and Wii.
You see, this is why it's not fair, because this is coming out at roughly the same time as Fable 3.
It's the same, pretty much the same day.
Yeah. I can't afford both. I love Star Wars Force Unleashed. I liked it because I obviously am a big Star Wars fan, but I had to make a decision, and I'm going with Fable 3.
Okay.
But Force Unleashed 2, I think it will do well. I mean, first one had its problems, but generally I think it went down pretty well. It's definitely one of the better Star Wars games.
Yeah.
And from like some of the cinematic trailers and gameplay clips and everything that have been releasing over the last couple of weeks, it built up quite a lot of hype for it, I think. Also, the inclusion of Guybrush Threepwood as a playable skin from Monkey Island games, that's kind of cool to LucasArts fanboys. So this is, again, is one I will pick up, but probably not at release. I think it will do really well.
Yeah,
Star Wars always does.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see how that goes. Still with the same. This is the same week. The last week of October, there's so much stuff coming out. The Sims 3 is getting its console released. Console release for 360.
It's getting its console released.
It is for 360 PS3, obviously. I think it is actually coming out on Wii as well. I've got that written down. Better late than never, I suppose.
Yeah. So
Sims has been out for well over a year now on PC, I do believe.
Yeah, I think I've been off it long enough now to not get hooked again. So I'll probably be avoiding this like the plague.
I actually do think this could be a dark horse.
Yeah.
Because knowing the kind of...
well, The Sims is generally quite dark and disturbing. It is a force of evil.
I'm just saying, this is the kind of game that will sell quite a lot, I reckon. I think it will do really, really well.
Is your other half getting it?
Oh, there's no mention of it. It is one of those games people go fucking mental over, and it's coming out for consoles. I can see it doing quite well on Wii, actually. Not so good on PS3 360, but on Wii I think that's probably where it's going to find its home, I think, as far as consoles go. Yeah. That's just my prediction. Obviously, I don't know anything, really. But, I think this will do quite well. I don't think people initially will be like, oh, Sims 3, fucking must-have game of this week, because there's so much other stuff coming out that week. But I think it will actually creep up on people, and it will sell all right.
The Sims has an insane following.
There you go.
And there are people who maybe got all the hardware and everything for The Sims 2, and then didn't want to upgrade to Sims 3 and everything. But so to have it there on the consoles,
Yeah, I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
Another game that ends with the number 3. So it's like it's a triad thing. It's like for the 3 threes. Rock Band 3.
Oh,
Oh, we just had Guitar Hero. Why not have Rock Band? Rock Band 3 with its little MIDI keyboard debris.
awesome.
That's coming out for 360, PS3, and Wii.
Awesome. I take it you'll definitely be picking that up.
I'll be picking it up, but I don't know if I'll be picking up any new hardware, because
No,
that's too much money, dude. And there's
Yeah.
already so many games here that I want. I'll probably rather just play it on the shitty hardware I've got
Yeah.
and just suffer the consequences of that. Really, I do want to play. I'm interested. There's been a set list released. I did see a few songs that are pretty cool. Between Guitar Hero and this, it's going to be pretty amazing, I think, as far as music games go. And DJ Hero, I suppose, because there's obviously like there's been a big boom in these rhythm music game things, and I think the novelty's slowly wearing off, which is why I think with Rock Band they've kind of said, here's a really cool controller where you can learn guitar, and here's a keyboard, and you can use it as a keyboard if you plug it into the computer, and here's how to learn. You know what I mean? They're trying to teach you stuff now.
Yeah.
That's quite smart on their behalf, because obviously...
So maybe if you steered away from the Rock Band machine so far, this might be the one to get you.
It might be the one to get you into actually playing an instrument. Having said that, I think if you play drums in Guitar Hero or in Rock Band, I still think you can learn drums.
Yeah.
It pretty much teaches you the basics of rhythm and stuff, so it's always been able to teach you something, but they're really trying to promote that kind of...
learn as you play.
Yeah. That
Games
kind
are not
of,
evil. They can be
Yeah.
valuable tools.
So, but speaking of evil, Saw 2. Now, last year, Saw, the game, came out, and
You were a bit
obviously
shocked by it, weren't you?
I was shocked by it because it was actually quite good. I had very low expectations for that, but I picked it up and fuck it, give it a go. I like the first couple of movies after that, or whatever, but
I pretty much like the first movie.
yeah,
that's
yeah,
about
okay,
it.
fair enough. And this game came out, and I was kind of like, I'll give it a go. It looks all right, and hats off to Konami, because it's actually was quite a good game. Lots of really fucking hard puzzles and stuff, pretty cool. I mean, for what it was, I actually think it was a really good game, and I think it was like the dark horse of that year, maybe a little bit. I mean, it didn't do great sales, I don't imagine, but
for you, for your gaming library.
it's the game last year that surprised me the most, absolutely, without a doubt. And now, obviously, it must have done okay, because there's a second game, Saw 2, for PS3 360.
Let's hope it doesn't do what the movies did.
Yeah.
Thoroughly disappoint.
I will pick this up, I'm sure, and play it. Fingers crossed for this one, because I still think it's a risk to be taken here in getting this game, even though the first one was actually surprisingly quite good, and a bit underrated. I actually still a little bit dubious about this, but the next game on my list, I really...
We'll just mention, with the last game and this game coming out, kind of suitable for this time of year, being the end of October.
Well, that's it. There are a few games actually coming out that are
horror
worthy of being, released around Halloween.
Speaking into your glass.
It's live, whatever. It's done now, isn't it? But yeah, obviously we Dead Space should be coming out in this week, but it isn't. So, but Splatterhouse, that's coming out, and that's a game that me and Splatterhouse go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the 16-bit era, baby.
Yeah.
Love me some Splatterhouse. So the fact this is being remade, fantastic, and it's coming out at Halloween. I really want this game, and I really want to play it, and it just looks like a lot of fun to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll probably play it around yours.
Yeah, so expect us to be talking about that. I've got another game on the list that isn't really part of any of the main consoles, but I thought I'd mention it because it is quite a big title.
Can kind of get labelled under the manufacturer, Nintendo.
Super Scribblenauts is coming out for the DS.
Awesome. I will be picking it up. Probably not on release, but...
I'm mentioning it because it's probably the biggest release for the DS in the holiday season. One of the biggest, anyway. That comes out that week. So, we're going to talk about November.
Okay.
Now, also a pretty big month, let's be honest, for games.
Jesus, yeah.
well, first of all, hello, Gran Turismo 5, PS3.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah.
How long have people been waiting for this? It's pretty much since...
Quite some time.
I think a lot of people are expecting it to be a launch title for the PS3.
Yeah, I do believe so. There's no doubt in my mind that this will fucking sell like hotcakes.
I know at least 2 or 3 people that have it pre-ordered.
Exactly. So this is pretty much, a dead cert. They're going to make money off of this bastard big time.
We need not talk about it.
Not really. No, not really much to talk about. But yeah, big game for PS3. It's probably going to make Sony a lot of money. GoldenEye for the Wii. This is the one.
Yeah.
This for me is the Wii game that is going to stand head and shoulders above the rest of this holiday season. I reckon personally, this is probably going to be the biggest selling game on Wii. I think Sims 3 will probably be like number 2 or number 3 on that list. But GoldenEye for the Wii comes out beginning of November, and I can see this doing really, really well. Quite funny that such a big game for the PS3 comes out the same week. Well, actually, there's a few PS3 games that are coming out that week that are pretty big, but 360 is more or less a no-show at the beginning of November.
Yeah.
Not much coming out for them, but you've got Gran Turismo on the PS3 we just mentioned. That's going to be so huge. GoldenEye for the Wii, that's going to be massive. Actually, Sims 3 for the Wii comes out that week actually as well. Okay. MotorStorm Apocalypse for the PS3, that's another exclusive for the PS3.
Yeah. MotorStorm did quite well.
Yeah.
On there. So yeah, that'll probably
do it's well. Like MotorStorm 3 basically.
It's pretty shitty that it's coming out the same week as
Gran Turismo. Yeah, I don't know whether they should have maybe jiggled things about it. DC Universe Online for the PS3. PS3's really representing the first week of November.
Yeah,
that's going to be pretty mad for them.
I am getting that. That is kind of all the games, I think that's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Right.
We will talk more about it later.
Yeah. And the only other game I've got listed down here actually for that first week of November, Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage.
Oh, I really wanted this, but I just don't have the money for it.
I only mention it because I'm kind of interested to see how this game's going to work, how it's going to pan out. Because do you remember I think it was for a Mega Drive game, Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever got its release over here. I can't remember if it did or didn't, but I remember playing like a Japanese titled. It's hard to play because I couldn't understand it, but downloading a ROM and playing it and thinking it was pretty fucking awesome. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this.
Altered Beast kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, definitely. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah, well, this one is it's made by the Dynasty Warriors people,
right?
So it'll be a lot of running around, killing multiple groups, but. From what I've seen of it, like screenshots and everything, it looks quite nice. Yeah. And it could be like a nice twist on it. Yeah. I will probably pick it up.
When it's a little cheaper. Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that's coming out for PS3, 360. Majority of these games we're going to be talking about on the show, because I'm sure I'm going to pick up loads of games this holiday season, and it's going to be mad. But here's the big one. For me, personally, the biggest game that's coming out. November 9th, Call of Duty Black Ops for the 360, PS3, Wii, and PC.
Yeah, that's
probably DS as well, but yeah,
that's probably going to outsell everything else this year.
That's what I reckon. I think that is my tip for the top, basically.
I think it's the only game coming out that week, isn't it?
It is the only game coming out that week.
That's the only game that needs to come out.
Well, actually, saying that the day after that, Connect launched, and a shit ton of games for that comes out for launch. So it's going to be an interesting week because you've got. Yeah. 360 really isn't representing much in the beginning of November, but you've got Call of Duty comes out November 9th.
Which will sell on
which
everything.
Is going to be so mental. There's going to be a huge launch for that. The fucking sales are going to be through the roof. You said earlier, like in a previous episode, the pre-orders are already more than they were for Modern Warfare 2. So, But then Connect comes out. all the games for Kinect, well, all the launch titles for Kinect. I mean, that's 10 to 15 games there coming out for Kinect. So that's a big week for Microsoft.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by Kinect. I'm going to get my hands on those sensors and, you know, some games and stuff and see what that's all about. We'll do a video. That'll be kind of fun. So that's whether or not Kinect's going to...
First I've heard about it.
Yeah.
You ain't getting me on that.
No, that'd be fun. Go have a laugh, mate. Go have a laugh. So it'd be interesting. I can't really predict whether Kinect's going to be a success or not. It's a pricey bit of hardware. And for people who don't have an Xbox, it's going to be a hard sell for people that don't have an Xbox, because they've not only got to buy the Xbox, they've got to buy the hardware, and then they've got to buy the games on top of it. They are doing bundles, but they are pricey.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're getting 2 bits of hardware, and it's, you know, it's gonna work out pricey. So we'll see. I mean, I hope it does quite well, but I mean, that week it's going to be overshadowed by Black Ops, to be fair. So
yeah.
Okay, let's carry on with November, as you can probably hear my bits of paper shuffling around.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So November 12th.
Show may overrun, people listening live.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's all good. It's all good. November 12th, Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Wii. That's, for that week, pretty much the only real sort of Wii title coming out, other than, well, Black Ops comes out on the Wii, apparently.
There's so many games.
But I'm mentioning it because obviously the Wii's going to have a fairly good holiday season.
Yeah.
They'll probably sell a lot more consoles, and they're going to have a decent lineup of games, which they seem to have.
Yeah.
For the holiday season to shift these Wii's. And Kirby's Epic Yarn's pretty much one of the big Wii titles. I think it'll do okay. I don't know if it's going to be...
There are a lot of
majorly
old
successful.
school Kirby fans that probably bought Wii's for their kids that might pick it up.
Possibly.
I
We'll
mean, I
see.
enjoy Kirby. I am interested in this one, but I probably won't buy it just simply because there's so much other stuff coming out.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really like, top of the list. So we'll see how that goes. I don't even make a prediction on that one, because, like you say, there's some hardcore fans out there who will buy it, and I'm sure it will do quite well based off of that. But I don't see lots of people getting it.
No.
I don't know.
Probably see like sales like throughout the year. It'll do all right, but release sales, there is a lot of other
There's
stuff.
so much else coming out. I can't see it doing. It might surprise us. Who knows? Okay, because we're running a little over now. We're just gonna crack on. Get it over with. November 19th. Quite a bit coming out then as well.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Okay. At this point, I will be starting to sell games.
You'll be
to raise money.
You'll be starting to sell furniture.
Yeah. Selling stuff, selling blood,
Steam,
selling organs.
mugging grannies.
Yeah, just to buy this. But I will be getting this game.
So you're excited for that? That's good. 360, PS3, and PC. It's coming out.
Yeah.
I still haven't played through Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, dude.
I've still got to do that, but I will get around to it. I probably will pick this up as well.
Yeah.
Not at launch, I don't think. I
I'm
probably
picking
will
it
wait
up.
for this, because like I said, I've got to play through Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah.
This is going to do alright. There's a lot of hype for this. I think it'll do pretty good.
Well, you can always borrow it off me and try before you buy
Yeah,
it.
definitely. Another game that I'm actually really excited for this. Alright, on the PS3 you've got your Gran Turismo 5, you've got your MotorStorm and all that shit, yeah? What I'm looking forward to, for me personally,
Do you have a need?
I have a need for speed. Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit. That's fucking cheesy. What did you do? Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, 360, PS3, PC, and Wii. It's coming out.
Awesome.
Pretty much everything. The main reason I'm really excited for this game is because it's made by Criterion Games.
I have to say, I did see some gameplay footage for this earlier on in the week, possibly over last weekend, and
it looks
pretty.
like the kind of game I want to be playing online against other people.
Looks like the kind of game you want to start a family with, settle down, take to bed, keep it warm at night.
Bring home to your mother. I like what they're doing with Need for Speed. It's kind of it's like if Need for Speed and Burnout fucked. But it looks really cool. I mean, I'm up for it. I'm in Criterion Games, even. Yeah, fucking hell. That they can do no wrong in my eyes. So I'm up for this. So it looks fucking amazing.
You mumbled a bit there. I'll just emphasise, they can do no wrong in your eyes. right?
Definitely my eyes.
Because it sounded like...
Yeah.
You know what it sounded
right,
like.
okay.
You'll be listening back to this
probably.
when you're editing
Right.
it and thinking, oh my god, it does
No,
sound
there
like
wouldn't be much editing going on. Anyway, right. Yeah, I'm excited for that. There are like loads of social aspects to it. I think it'll be pretty cool. Talking about the Wii again, like representing heavy here, like Donkey Kong Country Returns. That I think is going to do pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of Donkey Kong fans. I can see it doing some pretty good sales.
Yeah.
So that's some exciting news for Wii owners. A game that I'm not really sure how I feel about. I mean, because I'm not a big fan of the kind of the games and the films as such, but it's alright. It's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1
I'm
for
intrigued.
the 360, PS3 and Wii, and it is coming out on PC as well. The deal with this is it's like
It's a
like,
third-person cover shooter.
yes.
That's
And not only that, but it also is compatible with Kinect, and I imagine the PS3 version will be compatible with Move, and obviously the Wii is going to be compatible with Wii, right? So, yeah,
could be quite interesting. I might have to pick it up at some point just to see.
I don't know.
Or maybe
I'm
just rent it or
intrigued,
something.
But I think I'll see how things go with this.
There most likely will be a demo, I would have thought.
The thing is, in all fairness, like I'm sure the Harry Potter games do okay, you know.
Yeah. Why wouldn't
Just
you
like the
make them
movie.
if they didn't?
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's a big cash in, basically, you know. But this is something very different for this type of game.
It's an odd direction. I think that's why I'm intrigued about it.
Yeah, but I think I'll see how this goes. But you know,
I'll probably get a chance to like get my hands on it and play it and see my thoughts on it.
Indeed. So the last week of November, Epic Mickey comes out for the Wii.
Yeah, I'll be picking that up.
And I know you're excited about that. Yeah, this is probably going to be another... I mean, the Wii's got some quite good stuff for the hardcore Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of them. I think this will probably do pretty well. I mean,
it's slightly reminiscent of like the old school Mickey Mouse games that you got in the 16-bit era.
Yeah.
It's made by Warren Spector, who did Deus Ex. I mean, it ticks all the right boxes.
Yeah.
And it just seems slightly weird and wonderful. And yeah, I'll be picking it up and talking about it on the show.
Yeah. I think with the Wii over this holiday season, like I said, I think the GoldenEye game's going to do really well. I think that's probably going to be the biggest selling thing on the Wii. But then there's all these other games like Kirby and Epic Mickey and you know things like that. I think they're going to do pretty fucking damn good as well. I think Nintendo stand to sell a lot of not only just games but bloody consoles because of these games. So, I mean, I can imagine a lot of people who perhaps haven't heard that GoldenEye's being re-released for the Wii, who might just walk into a game store one day and be like, "Oh bloody hell, it's been re-released for the Wii."
Maybe previous N64 owners.
Exactly, and they'll be like, "I gotta get me a fucking Wii. Where's the cheapest Nintendo Wii?" You know, I can see that kind of happening. So that kind of rounds off the holiday season, right?
Yeah.
Nothing really coming out in December. That's to be expected. That doesn't really happen.
So everybody will be opening their games, not buying them.
Exactly. But in the new year, right?
Aye.
January. Right at the end of January, we've got 2 releases here. Now, well, this one I'm excited about, as we've spoke before, about Dead Space 2 comes out in January. Which is a bit of a shame because it should be coming out end of October, like I mentioned. It's coming out on 360 and PS3 and PC, I do believe. We spoke about it. I'm excited for this. I will get this, I will play this, I will talk about it on the show.
You'll probably get me to play it and record it and put it on the show.
Possibly. But Mass Effect 2 comes out for the PS3 that same week.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this.
You can have a little bit, but we'll mention
again. I'll probably talk more about it closer to the time. Interested to see what they'll be doing with this, and how it will affect the Mass Effect franchise as a whole.
It'll be interesting to see how well it does on PS3.
Yeah,
but I think it'll do right. I think it'll do okay.
Oh, it's a massive game and it's so good. I mean, if you are a PS3 owner and always sort of envied us who have it on 360. I can't say it's a bad game or it won't do well because I love it. It's one of my favourite games ever. So best of luck to it. Hope it does well. Hope BioWare don't suffer for it. I hope they just carry on.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll do really well.
Keep bringing us the DLC.
Okay, well, we're sticking with PS3. February 25th, Killzone 3 comes out.
Yeah.
This is a huge title for the PS3.
Yeah, it'll be support 3D, won't it?
Indeed. So, like I say, these are the kind of the games that really should be coming out October and November.
Yeah.
Really just
But
bulk
if you-
things up. But,
yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot coming out, but still, these are the sort of games you'd expect to be coming out around that time. And It
Yeah.
seems funny. I think there's like, it's possibly because of delays and certain things that they're not. They may have like...
Extra time for polish.
Indeed.
Right.
Same day as Killzone 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 comes out for 360 and PS3.
Oh, dear Lord.
It could be interesting. We'll see how it goes.
I love the originals.
yeah.
I love Street Fighter. I love... I'm a comic book nerd. I will most likely pick this up.
Yeah,
in all eventuality.
I probably will too. I may wait a little bit, but I probably will end up picking it up. Because on that same day, Bulletstorm comes out for 360, PS3 and PC, and I am very excited for this game.
Yeah, I
really
think
do wanna
out
play
of...
this.
Yeah, I think I know which one you'd buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll probably wait for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because Bulletstorm's pretty much going to be the top of my list for that month at least. And then for the rest of February, you got Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Sorry, that looks interesting. That could be quite good. I probably will give that a go. Maybe we'll see. Not the biggest Ghost Recon fan. It's all right. I mean,
Yeah. It's done pretty well. It has
Yeah.
pretty big sort of cult
So-
following.
that's on 360, PS3, and PC. Child of Eden.
Is this the spiritual successor to Rez?
It is indeed.
That'd be interesting.
It's Kinect compatible and possibly Move compatible because on 360 and PS3, we'll see what happens with this. It's going to be
That
pretty trippy little game, but you know, give it a shot. I'm sure it'll be good. Surprised this isn't coming out in November with all the rest of the Kinect stuff, but there you go. Because I would have expected this to be a launch title, but I guess it isn't. Then March, the only there's quite a bit coming out in March. To be fair, Dragon Age 2 for the 360, PS3, and PC.
Yeah.
You interested?
I'm getting it day one.
There you go then. So Dragon Age 2,
like it's been mentioned before, I am a BioWare whore.
indeed. It's going to be a busy month because you'll be getting Batman Arkham City as well.
Oh,
For the
Jesus
360 and
Christ.
PS3. Obviously, some of these release dates are subject to change, but as of when we're recording this is pretty much
I need a new
when
job
these things are-
that pays me more money.
right. Deus Ex Human Revolution comes out that same day as well. Same day as, it's scheduled for the same day as Arkham City for 360, PC, and PS3.
Oh, fuck me in the arse.
Yeah.
It's not fair. See,
So
but no, I will just sort of by that say, yes, I'm really excited for both these games.
yeah,
I will most likely be picking them up.
indeed. So we're nearly done here. It's been a long fucking episode, but Crisis 2 comes out the same day. I'm excited for that. That's probably going to be one of my most anticipated games of this year when it was actually going to come out this year, but now it's been delayed till next year. So looking forward to that. It's coming out on 360, PS3 and PC. And then all that's really left to talk about is April. The big one for me. This is going to be my probably biggest game of next year. Gears of War 3.
Yeah.
Coming April.
Yeah.
Obviously 360 only. It's an exclusive.
Yep.
Which is quite a rarity these days. But very, very excited for Gears of War 3. It looks amazing. And seems a bit of a shame that we've got to wait till April for it.
Well, we're going to have a lot of other games to play.
Yeah,
until then.
I know. But
after spending all that money on them, we better
indeed.
damn well play them.
And there's something else that's confused me here because I've had 2 release dates for this next game, but I think it's confirmed for April next year. It's the new Mortal Kombat game. I don't think it's actually coming out. Originally it was scheduled to come out at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Or soon, next few months. But now I think it's been delayed till next year. So that's another one that's I'm intrigued by.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I really hope it's good. So yeah, Mortal Kombat, Gears of War 3, it's a pretty good month. So it leads us up to April. That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
That's a fucking lot of games.
I think we should do another one of these shows in April.
Yeah, I reckon we will do. And my predictions here, I mean, I'm just going to go over these games quickly. Like, my prediction are that on, say, like 360, I think the biggest selling games are going to be... it's going to be like Black Ops for a start. I mean,
I think that'll probably be the biggest selling game on everything.
Yeah, quite possibly. Interested to see how Kinect does. I mean, we'll see, basically. On PS3, Gran Turismo 5, most likely, because it's... there's still a lot of good stuff coming out for PS3, but that's probably one of the biggest titles coming out. It's the most eagerly anticipated titles. And for Wii, I'm going to say GoldenEye. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a fair statement. So I think those are going to be the biggest selling games of, this holiday season.
Beyond, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how it goes.
I'm feeling probably the biggest selling game on 360 in April
will be Gears of War 3.
yeah. That's pretty much a given.
Obviously, thank you for tuning in, but if you tune to our end of year show, we'll be doing a roundup of this year and the games that have come out. So we'll be talking about a lot of these games, having played them, and we'll discuss what our game of the year is.
Ooh.
So potentially our game of the year is here. It's on these bits of paper. I mean, our kind of, top 10 games of the year are pretty much going to be on here at some point.
And you can listen to me on air struggle as I try and pick what my favourite game of the year is.
Indeed. So we'll that's something to look forward to.
Yeah. What, me struggling?
Yeah, indeed. Well, I don't know about that. Well, thank you. We've overrun a little bit. That's how it is, especially when it's live.
We've had fun, though.
It's been good. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to this special live edition of the Games4all podcast. And if you didn't tune in live on Ustream, thank you for downloading it and listening to us ramble about games for another week in a row, So next week, back to normal. The usual episode 20. It's just going to be a normal week, really. But there'll be a few more games to talk about, I imagine. So we'll see how it goes.
None of the funny little dudes or funny little dudes.
What?
We've had lots of funny little dudes here. No,
right.
None of the funny little outtakes and stuff.
No, we'll save most of them up.
Yeah, but no, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Good. Well, thank you very much for tuning in and listening to us. And our website, if you've not been listening to it on the website, is www.games4allpodcast.com. I don't know why I hesitated. That was really weird. We're on Twitter.
Twitter.com/Games4all.
Indeed.
See, I didn't hesitate.
Fuck off. All right. We're also on Facebook. If you just search for Games4all Podcast, keep podcast as a separate word. Usually helps. You can find us on there and like us.
Yep.
So
please like us.
Yeah.
Really
if you want
like
to email us, if you disagree with anything we've said, or agree, or want to express your opinion,
or think we've missed anything,
or yeah, exactly. If there's something you want us to talk about, if you want to get a mention on the show, if you just want to say, yeah, thanks for doing the show, yeah, podcast at games4allpodcast.com. That is with the number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
The
word 4.
Yeah. So thank you very much for listening, tuning in, downloading, putting up with us again, week after week.
But this time live.
But this time live, which makes it even worse.
Yeah.
One game we didn't mention was Little Big Planet 2.
Oh.
Bloody hell. And Metal Gear Solid Rising.
Yeah.
Fuck me, we're really shit, aren't we?
Well, I don't think they're coming out before April, are they?
I don't know. So... I have no idea when they come out.
God, we're really shit,
this is
aren't
really
we?
awful. We hadn't written down as well, I forgot to say. But don't email us about those games, we just mentioned them.
They'll do well.
Let's wrap this show up.
They'll do well.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for downloading. If you've sort of just missed the show, you can download it tomorrow. It'll be part of our podcast feed. Check out the website or go on iTunes and search for Games4all. Hopefully we'll get some new listeners out of this. I doubt it. Doubt it very much. But thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to listen to two dorks rant about games. And we'll...
I'm sort of thinking, I'm trying to sort of like, can I get offended by that? You called me a dog.
Yeah.
No, it's probably honest.
It's the truth. It's a fair representation. So thank you very much. And we'll be back next week with a slightly more normal show and a lot less live.
Peace out, homies.